The Great Reset is rushing towards us. What is a Great Reset? Well, it's going to be a reset of our entire economy. Now, I've been hearing about this Great Reset for quite a number of years. That's why I position myself with cryptocurrency and precious metals, because they're outside of the remit of the Great Reset, because they're not held within the financial system. But let's have a look and see what the mainstream media is telling us, and more importantly, not telling us about this Great Reset, which is fast approaching. So yes, this is a phrase we're going to be hearing a lot over the next 6 months, and that's going to be the Great Reset. There's an economic reset approaching, fast approaching. What does it mean to us? Well, obviously we know that we've had COVID, right? And we don't know whether it's been around since last year or in March lockdowns pretty much across the globe closed down multiple economies. None of them could ever recover. I've always likened them to the economies and the businesses where there were lockdowns. Like when you go to a bowling alley, there's the pins, and the first lockdown knocked down most of the pins. And the second wave and the second lockdown, which I did a video a few months ago saying there's a second wave, it's going to come, that's going to knock down the rest of the pins, and that's going to usher in the perfect storm for the Great Reset. So let's just see what a site like the BBC is saying. So I've been calling out the mainstream media as BS artists for quite a while. And if you just check out my videos on my YouTube channel and my Facebook, my Instagram, I've been saying this, right? So they're going to tell you one story, one moment, which suits them. They're never going to tell you the true story. They're going to slowly introduce the bad news, because if they introduce the bad news in one go, there'll be mass panic. So I don't really blame them, but it's an average person like you and I who's going to suffer from this bad news. So we need to prepare ourselves by becoming aware of what is going on right now. Without being told in drips and drabs, we can prepare ourselves. And that's why I call my plan Plan G. All right, so let's see. This is the 16th of September. And so this is like the beginning of October. I'm filming this, the 5th of October. So this is quite a while ago. Coronavirus hit to global economy will be less than expected in 2020. Look at that headline. So that is giving some hope, right? Be less than expected in 2020. And they go on to say that we are in a recession. There is a recession that is going on. You know, the UK's got a 10.1% drop, but you know what? There'll be a weaker rebound. It's premature budgetary tightening at a time when economies are still fragile. So we can sort this out. We'll get there. But, you know, it's going to be weak, because the main headline is the key hook that is getting people in. So don't worry. It's going to be worse than we expected. So carry on doing what you're doing, carry on investing in the stock market, carry on buying property, because it looks like it's booming, all the rest of this. So they're giving some hope, right? So this is CNBC from today. Business leaders call for, this is 3 weeks after that BBC article. So that's the UK, BBC. This is the US, CNBC, across the pond. Business leaders call for urgent reforms as global economy faces its worst state in a century. When just 3 weeks ago, another media outlet was saying it's less than to be expected. Worst state in a century. It is looking bad. Top business leaders say the global economy is facing its worst crisis in 100 years, and downside risks remain elevated unless urgent reforms are enacted. During the G20 summit, hosted by Saudi Arabia in November, G20, 20 of the most powerful and richest nations on the planet. They want to do something. What do they want to do? I wonder. Great Reset, maybe? Now, the Great Reset is usually conducted by an organization, not usually because it's not been done before, but the head of the Great Reset will be an organization, probably like the World Economic Forum. They've been plugging it. And here they go. This is the World Economic Forum website. There is an urgent need for global stakeholders. Global stakeholders? Who could global stakeholders be? Well, there could be G20 countries, right? The G20 countries are global stakeholders. The richest 20 countries in the world, they're the global stakeholders. There's an urgent need for global stakeholders to cooperate in simultaneously managing the direct consequences of the COVID-19 crisis. A crisis where like 99% of the people of a population of a country actually don't die from it. To improve the state of the World Economic Forum is starting the Great Reset initiative, really. So Please take time out, read this website. There's a link above here, weforum.org/great-reset. There's a link above this video right now, you can see it. Please check it out. And they are pitching why they need to have a great reset. Political, economic, and social disruption it's caused, COVID-19, is fundamentally changing the traditional context for decision-making, meaning more centralized decision-making, that basically means. The inconsistencies, inadequacies, and contradictions of multiple systems, from health and financial to energy and education, are more exposed than ever amidst a global context of concern for lives, livelihoods, and the planet. Leaders find themselves at historic crossroads, managing short-term pressures against medium and long-term uncertainties. Where are they heading to? They are heading to the Great Reset Initiative has a set of dimensions to build a new social contract that honors the dignity of every human being. A new social contract, right? That is mumbo jumbo. That is words for saying that they're going to change everything. A social contract, how we interact and how we do everything, every aspect of our lives. And this is already happening with the loss of a lot of civil liberties, I've said. So I just want to quickly pay your attention to this because it says, the beginning, there's an urgent need for global stakeholders to cooperate in simultaneously managing the direct consequences of the COVID-19 crisis. To improve the state of the world, the Great Forum is starting the Great Reset Initiative. Really? I want to show you an article from Forbes. Please check out the date. May 31st, 2017. Forbes, as you can see. Brace yourself for the Great Reset. We are coming to a period I call the Great Reset. As it hits, we have to deal with the largest twin bubbles in the history of the world. One of these bubbles is global debt, especially government debt. The other is the even larger debt of government promises. These promises add up to hundreds of trillions of dollars. That's vastly larger than global GDP. You've been following what's been happening over the past 6 months since COVID. That was hundreds of trillions of dollars back in March 2017. It's even more, hundreds of trillions of dollars over there. These are real problems we must face. It will mean forging a new social contract. It will also require changes to taxes and the economy. I believe that within the next 5 to 10 years, we have to end the debt and government promises. What I mean by government promises are pensions. Pensions. So this guy, he called it ages ago. I've been following this similar type of news stories and taking them very seriously. This is the worst recovery ever. After a big recession, debt is usually reduced. This is what many expected in 2009. Individuals in some countries did reduce their debts. That is what happened in the US, but governments and corporations did not reduce their debts. As of 2014, total global debt rose to $199 trillion. It grew $57 trillion in just the previous 7 years. That's about $8 trillion a year. This is why they're pushing for a great reset, because his debt is unpayable. Yeah, as this article says, he called this article is more than 3 years old. He called a great reset 3 years ago. I've been waiting for the great reset since 2014, 15. I've been waiting for this every day, and I positioned myself because I know what was going to come. Because I knew that after the last recession of 2009, there was no recovery. They just created more debt. And debt is not good for anyone. Please ask anyone in Venezuela, in Argentina, in Zimbabwe. It is not good when they start throwing currency into an economy. It ends up killing the citizens of the planet altogether, particularly as we're a global economy right now. Venezuela killed the country. Argentina, they're dying a slow death. Zimbabwe, they died, their economy died a death. This is going to be on a global scale. This great reset has been in the pipeline. COVID has just been the catalyst, and the news headlines are slowly telling people. They'll start by saying, oh, don't worry, we've got some hope, it's going to be less than expected. And then they'll slowly bring in the bad news until you wake up one day and it's too late. Are you going to wait until that day? Are you going to be one of the billions of people on this planet who get up one morning, like you do every morning, make your coffee, make your tea, maybe get your children ready, switch on that television and get hit with that news? It's going to hit you so hard you're going to have to sit down. You won't believe it. Or you're going to prepare yourself right now. Name of my game is preparing yourself, and I've been there for several years. I call it Plan G, a mixture of cryptocurrency and precious metals. Check out my website, lots of information that is going to get you through this. I do not take this lightly. I'm deadly serious about this. This is life-changing information, which is going to get you on the other side, out of this great reset, better than before you went in there. Check out my website, www.gurmitcombo.com. In the meantime, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you in my next video.